Are you struggling to delegate certain tasks? Do you get that rush of anxiety, overwhelm, and just worry when you think, okay, I need to let go of this task. I'm going to let go of this task. Someone else is going to do it. Do you really struggle with delegation? You want to listen in for the few minutes. So, that struggle to delegate, I do believe it's a natural emotion, because for sure there are going to be times where you have valid emotions, so you're like wondering, will they do this as good as it needs to be? Will they do it, to the standard? Will my business crash? Or, even sometimes in our personal lives, we might want to delegate housekeeping, or, I mean, we can't delegate everything, right? But there's some things we can delegate, and that struggle is, it's not something imaginary, it's a real struggle. So if you're struggling with delegation, outsourcing as well, I do want to talk about that for another few minutes, to just mention a few pointers. So the first thing you want to do is to, understand that eventually, as your business grows, as the dynamics in your life changes as well, you're just not going to be able to do everything, and that's okay, right? So that's the first thing, to really believe that there's some things I just can't do by myself forever, and do remember too that when we think about how the world is, or humans are, we were never created to do everything by ourselves, right? We need to rely on each other, the ecosystem, we get into all of that. We can't be self-sufficient. Like we're always going to need the input of somebody else or something else, a process or something, as our life goes. So if you're struggling with delegation, the first thing to realize is that eventually you can't do everything all the time. The next step is to think about what is leading to this struggle. Is it that you don't have the confidence in your current team, or you're struggling to find a team or someone who you think will take charge of the task at the standard you need it to be done, or even better than how you are doing it? Or do you fear also, there's that fear about confidentiality? Well, will they, after knowing all the insights of your business or even your personal life, you're just so exposed, right? Because when you take on a team, you're basically, exposing some of your business practices. You're putting trust in someone. And to be honest, we never ever know how that relationship will turn out, right? Business or personal. So in delegating, think about the reasons why you're struggling. Is it that you're fearing, okay, the standards, or you might be like, okay, they might not do it to my standard, or, can they be reliable? And is it going to be even more chaos? It's like you did delegate, and then you find out, I'm going to have to do this over. And then that even gets you even more frustrated. So identify why you're struggling to delegate. And then the third step is to have standards, be clear about what you want, how you want things to be done. And sometimes, for example, you might not know all the insights, or for example, you might know, okay, I want to delegate taking care of my numbers. You might not know exactly all the ins and outs of doing that. However, you do know that you're not the expert at it. So you're relying on someone else who is an expert. And there are ways to check that. You can know if key things are being mentioned to you. You can know, how your reports are looking. It's a process of learning. And there are checks and balances in which you can set up to make sure that what they're supposed to be doing is being done, right? So that is what I would definitely suggest. If you're struggling with delegation, that's okay. It does happen. That's normal. The next thing is to find out why you're struggling. Just dive deep, be honest with yourself, right? And then the last thing is to think of how is it that you can know if this is being done the right way when you delegate, when you outsource. Of course, you're going to do your reviews, your process, to make sure you're choosing the right team, person, company to really delegate or outsource your tasks to. So you do want to make sure you are definitely aware of, you know, the quality of that person, their work. And also you do want to make sure that you are knowing the standard, understanding what is expected. That is clear. It has to be clear in your mind. And sometimes, yes, there's a little uncertainty. I'm not too sure what should be done. I know this should be done. It's like if we're going to be doing surgery, right? We might not know you're not going to know the ins and outs of everything that surgeon should do. However, based on the conversation, based on, you know, the follow up, you can know, okay, this is a surgeon I can rely on, I can trust on, and based on how you heal after, if they were supposed to fix this, you can know after, is it really fixed? You can, stuff like that. So it is a process. It's Life is filled with uncertainty for sure. However, delegation is definitely key. It's definitely a vital, integral part of life. And on the personal, on the business side, it is very, very important to eventually delegate as you grow, as the dynamics of your life changes. So do remember to share this broadcast. If you do have any questions on how do I even start with this delegation process, what should I delegate first, I'm happy to have a chat with you. So you can send me a message and text or email, and I'll be happy to continue our conversation. So signing off in 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys.